Good morning, students. I welcome you all for the very first class of social science. First, I congratulate you that you have been promoted to standard 8th. I hope you are safe and good and might be enjoying your quarantine holidays in a safe manner. So, let us start our session. First, we are going to see about the advent of the Europeans. This is our first chapter. So, the thing is, what are the causes for the arrival of Europeans that we are going to see in this chapter, and what are the things they succeeded, what are the things they achieved, and what are the impacts left behind that. Everything we are going to discuss in this chapter. First, let me read out the introduction. Many of the foreign travelers, traders, missionaries, and civil servants who came to India in the 18th and 19th centuries have left accounts of their experiences and their impressions of various parts of the country. So many of the foreign travelers, by traveling to find many new things, some people traveled. So travelers, many foreign travelers came to India, some traders to do some business. Okay, so for that purpose they came. Missionaries to preach about God, mainly about Christianity. Some preachers, some missionaries have come from foreign countries, and civil servants for officially for the government's sake, some people have come. So all these people came to India in the 18th and 19th centuries. So, and they got many new experiences. That is all been recorded in our history. Okay, so that is all very much useful for us in many ways. So that is what we are going to see in this chapter. So sources of modern India. So let us see what are the sources of modern India. Now we have, okay, the sources for the history of modern India help us to know the political, economic and cultural development in the country. So these sources help us to know about the political, okay, and economic, okay, about our country's economic level, and cultural development, how the cultural things have been developed, civilization, everything we are going to see. Okay, for these things the sources of this history will help us. The Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, the Danes and the English recorded their official transactions in India on state papers, and all these records are well preserved. So the Portuguese, the Dutch people, the French people, the Danes and the English people all came to our country and recorded their official transactions, whatever they did officially. So everything it has been recorded and preserved. So all these record all well preserved, okay, well maintained. Kinds of sources. So we'll see what are the kinds of sources. We have two types of sources. One is written sources and another one is material sources. So first let us go to the written sources. After the invention of the printing press, many books were published in different languages. So we all know printing press is one of the biggest invention of human, right? So do you all know the name who invented printing press? Yeah, it's John Gutenberg. So he is the first one to invent the printing press. So after this invention of printing press, many books were published in many languages. So far books were not that much in use. They used to write in some animal skins like that, okay, but printing press made everything easy. Okay, it helped people to acquire knowledge in the fields of art, literature, history and science. So many books were published, so people started reading books and their knowledge developed in the field of art, okay, literature. So many books about literature, history and science. Ananda Rangam was a Dubash. Dubash means translator in Pondicherry to assist French trade. He recorded the events that took place in French India. So the name is Ananda Rangam. He is a person, he is a translator who lived in Pondicherry. He helped French trade. Okay, their French people have come, so he was helping them in translation level. So he has recorded many events that took place in French India. His diaries contain the daily events from 1736 to 1760, which are the only written record available during that period. So he has maintained a diary. Okay, that is all considered to be the very big treasure for us today. So he maintained a diary which was dated from 1736 to 1760. So that is the only written record available during that period. So the time period is 1736 to 1760. Okay, he maintained a diary. Written sources include literature, travel accounts, diaries, autobiographies, pamphlets, government documents, etc., manuscripts. So it includes these are the written sources, that is literature, travel accounts, the places where they traveled, their journey, about their journey, so all has been recorded. Diaries, day-to-day life events has been recorded. Autobiographies, they used to write about their own experiences, own travelings, everything. A person write about himself. Pamphlets, short papers, government documents, so everything has been come under written sources. Now let us go for the archives. Archives are the place where historical documents are preserved. It just we can name it as storehouses for preserving historical documents. The National Archives of India, that is NAI, is located in New Delhi, and it is the chief storehouse of the records of the Government of India. So National Archives of India, NAI, National Archives of India, it is located in New Delhi. So it is considered to be the primary storehouse of all the records. So many records have been preserved, maintained in this place, National Archives of India. It has main source of information for understanding past administration, also guide us to the present and future generation related to all matters. So it has main source of information. So through these records we come to know about the past administration, so how people ruled us, okay, how we were ruled by the government. So that is all help us to guide us to the present. So according to those things only now we people have been administrated, now they are ruling us according to those records only, and future generation also will get benefited from this. It contains evidence for knowing the political, social, economic, cultural and scientific life and activities of the people of India. So it contains proof, it contains lot of evidence and proof for knowing about the, so by this we come to know about the political, social, economic and cultural and scientific life of the people of India. So about the past. It is one of the largest archives in Asia. So the NAI, National Archives of India, it is located in New Delhi. So it is one of the largest archive in Asia. So very big one. Okay. Archive is nothing but storehouses for maintaining government records. Okay. Now we will go into the Tamil Nadu Archives. The Madras Record Office, now known as Tamil Nadu Archives, is located in Chennai. So formerly it is known as Madras Record Office. Now it has been rechanged as Tamil Nadu Archive. It is located in Chennai near Egmore only. So it is one of the oldest and largest document archives in southern India. So it is also one of the oldest, okay, very old one, and the largest document in southern India level. It's a big one. Most of the records are in English language. So mostly it has been recorded in English language. The collection includes series of administrative records in Dutch, Danish, Persian, Marathi and also in French, Portuguese, Tamil and Urdu. So in these languages also it has been recorded. The collection includes Dutch language because these people have administrated us, these people have been ruled us. So it has been recorded in these language also, Danish, Persian, Marathi language and also in French, Portuguese, Tamil and in Urdu also. Tamil Nadu Archives have 1642 volumes of Dutch records which related to Cochin and Coromandel Coast. These records cover the period from 1657 to 1845. So this archive have 1642 volumes of Dutch records. So such a big record, right? So it tells about the Cochin and Coromandel Coast, from Cochin to Coromandel. So these records cover period of 1657 to 1845. So very big one, right? The Danian record cover the period of 1777 to 1845. So this is also a very big one, the Danian record 1777 to 1845. Dodwell was highly interested in encouraging historical researchers. He opened a new chapter in the history of Tamil Nadu archives. So one of the famous person called Dodwell, he is very much interested in historical researches. Okay, so he has opened a new chapter in the history of Tamil Nadu archives. So he has collected many things and everything he has put in a record, in a diary. That is all helpful for the recent researchers. So we came across two names in this chapter. The first one is Ananda Rangam. He is a Dubash who lived in Pondicherry. He was helping French trade and he recorded many events in the French India. And one more person is Dodwell. He is also highly interested in historical researches. So he opened a new chapter in history of Tamil Nadu archives. Okay. So the first portion gets over here, first part of this unit. So we'll get some question answers, some 1 mark questions, a few 2 mark questions from this summary. Try to find the answers. I hope you would have enjoyed this class and would have understood something about this class. Okay children, thank you.